God says, only a rare few will see this. You are already very late. Stay here and listen before you watch anything else. There is something sacred and set apart about this moment right now. This isn't just another ordinary thing you've stumbled upon. This is not random. You were meant to see this. You were meant to be here, now. God says only a rare few will see this, and you are one of them. You may not fully grasp what that means yet, but something inside you knows this is calling your spirit to attention. You didn't come across this by chance. There is a divine urgency over this message. Heaven is drawing near to you, and God is whispering, you are already very late. Stay here, listen. You need to hold on to this moment with your whole heart, because what's being spoken now is for your soul, for your life, for the days you are walking through, and the days to come. If your heart feels something stirring, comment Amen now to affirm it. God is not playing with time. There are seasons when He knocks gently, and there are moments when His voice comes through the wind, the fire, and the silence, all at once. This is one of those moments. There is something God is urgently trying to pour into your spirit, and you cannot scroll past it. You cannot push this aside for later, because He said it clearly, only a rare few will see this, and you are already very late. He's not saying that to shame you. He's saying it to awaken you. There's something He's been trying to show you, guide you into, protect you from, bless you with, but you've been caught in everything else. The noise, the distractions, the weariness, the fear. And now He is calling you back. Not with anger, but with love so fierce that He's been waiting for you through every delay, through every moment you forgot Him, through every hour you lost hope. He waited, and He's still waiting, but not for long. That's why He said you're already very late. Please like this video if something in your heart knows this is for you. Not because it helps me, but because you're saying, God, I receive it. I'm here. I'm listening. God says only a rare few will see this. That means not everyone will understand what you carry. Not everyone will hear what you hear. Not everyone will be drawn to what you're drawn to. You may have walked through your whole life feeling like the outsider, the misfit, the one who didn't quite belong. But what if that separation wasn't rejection, it was preservation? What if you were always being set apart for something sacred, something that only the few will see? You are one of them. That's why you see things others miss. That's why you feel things deeply. That's why life has never been casual for you, because your spirit was never called to blend in. You were chosen. You need to stay, not because the words are perfect, but because God is speaking through them directly to you. You are walking through something that feels too heavy to carry, and He knows. He knows you've been trying to hold it together with a smile when your heart feels like it's falling apart. He knows the nights you cried in silence. He knows the decisions you've had to make with no one to lean on. And He says, I saw it. I never left. God says you're already very late because there's something He needed you to act on long ago, that nudge to pray. That voice that whispered for you to let go of something toxic. That dream He gave you that you buried under disappointment. That forgiveness you kept postponing. That love you were too afraid to receive. He's been trying to bring you into healing, into peace, into your purpose. But fear, doubt, and delay have stood in the way. He's calling you now, loudly, tenderly, powerfully. Because what's ahead of you needs your full surrender. What's ahead of you requires your complete trust. You can't walk forward halfway in. He's asking for all of you. Your wounds, your worries, your timeline, your pride, your excuses. Lay them all down. Not later. Now. Because you're already very late. Comment 1111 if you believe God is calling you right now. The ones who see this, truly see this, will understand. This is a divine appointment. This is the kind of moment that shifts the atmosphere of your entire life. You may not even fully understand it right now, but you'll remember this as the turning point. When you said yes to God with your whole heart, when you finally stopped running, when you opened the door fully and let Him in, God has been fighting battles on your behalf that you never saw. He has been canceling attacks that the enemy planned against your name. He has been protecting your mind from collapse. He has been keeping your name in rooms you haven't even entered. He has been moving mountains in the spirit that your eyes could not yet see. And now He is saying, I need your attention. I need your heart back. This is about obedience. This is about surrender. This is about trust. You can no longer walk the tightrope between faith and fear. You cannot cling to the world with one hand and to God with the other. The shaking in your life is not punishment, it's preparation. God is breaking the false foundations, the things you built in your own strength, the idols you leaned on in secret, the lies you made room for. He is tearing them down, not to destroy you, but to rebuild you on solid rock. On Him, only Him. Every tear you've cried, He has caught. Every prayer you whispered through trembling lips, He heard. Every moment you felt unseen, He was there. And now He is revealing something only a rare few will understand. This is not for everyone. It never was. The narrow path has always been walked by the few, not the many. The oil is given to the prepared, not the careless. And you are being called to wake up, to rise, to walk with Him fully. God is not finished with you. The delay in your life is not denial. The confusion is not the end. The warfare is not your identity. You are not late for your calling, you are right on time for your comeback. But you cannot wait another day to surrender fully. You must stay. You must listen. You must obey. Even now, His presence is wrapping around you. He is near to the broken-hearted. He saves those crushed in spirit. He is not distant or silent. He is in this moment with you, whispering peace over your storm, breathing life over your dry places, speaking purpose into your pain. This is the cry of a father who has waited through the silence, through the chaos, through your hesitation. God says you are already very late, but still not too late. That one truth carries everything you need right now. It means there is still grace, there is still time, there is still hope. This is not a message of fear, it is a message of rescue. It is not about guilt or shame. It is about love that refuses to give up on you. Love that sees what you have walked through. Love that knows what you carry. Love that stayed even when you ran. This is God's voice reaching past your defenses, pulling you out of hiding, inviting you to begin again before it's too late. The world has been loud, confusing, fast and cold, but the voice of God is quiet, still, strong and kind. And He is speaking to you now. God is not reminding you that you're late to condemn you. He's saying it to shake you free from delay. Too many times you've told yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Too many times you felt the nudge to pray but said, I'm too tired. Too many times you've heard Him calling but turned away because it felt too hard, too painful, too much. But now, heaven is leaning in. Now, the Spirit is pressing upon your heart, telling you that tomorrow is not promised, but this moment is, and this moment is holy. Comment 222 if you trust this moment is sacred. You were not created to live numb. You were not created to survive every day, dragging your soul behind your body, disconnected from God's voice. You were not created to stay in cycles of confusion, fear, heartbreak, and delay. You were created with eternity in your lungs. Heaven was written into the blueprint of your soul. God has called you by name, and no darkness can erase that. No failure can cancel that. No delay can undo what God has appointed. But here's the truth. You cannot keep saying you want God and not make room for Him. You cannot keep saying you want change but hold on to the things that are destroying your peace. You cannot keep waiting for the perfect moment to surrender when the only perfect moment is the one you have right now. God is saying, let go. Let go of the things that are not rooted in Him. Let go of the version of yourself that was built on survival. Let go of the voice of the enemy that told you you were too broken, too far gone, too lost. That voice is a lie. You are not too far. You are just one step away from freedom. God is not calling you to be perfect. He is calling you to be willing. He does not need your perfection. He needs your surrender. He wants your yes. A real, raw, honest yes. The kind that says, even if I'm afraid, I'll trust you. The kind that says, even if I don't understand, I'll follow you. The kind that says, even if I feel broken, I'll still believe. You can heal me. There is a shift happening in your life. There is something in the spirit that is breaking open for you. God is aligning things behind the scenes. He is closing doors that look good but are not from Him. He is opening the path that leads you back to His heart. He is cleansing your atmosphere. The heaviness you feel is not the end, it is the sign that breakthrough is near. The enemy always attacks loudest before deliverance. The pressure is not proof that you're failing, it is proof that you're close. Stay here, stay listening, don't scroll away from this. What God is doing in your life right now cannot be rushed, it must be received. The delay you feel is not wasted time. God is teaching you how to wait well. He is teaching you how to trust when there are no answers. He is building endurance in your spirit. He is planting truth where lies once grew. He is making you strong in the quiet, strong in the hidden places, strong when no one else sees. Do not underestimate what God is doing in your stillness. You may feel like nothing is happening, but God works in silence more than we realize. The seed in the soil doesn't make noise while it's becoming a tree. But that doesn't mean it's not growing. You are growing. Even in the dark, even in the quiet, even when you feel forgotten, God's presence is your home. His voice is your compass. His word is your anchor. You must return to Him with everything you are. There is no more room for halfway devotion. There is no more space for lukewarm faith. He is refining you because He loves you too much to leave you the same. He is not a distant observer. He is a loving Father who is holding your entire world in His hands. If you have been tired, He sees it. If you've been afraid, He understands. If you've been stuck in cycles, He has the power to break them. But you must say yes. You must stop delaying. Stop pretending you have forever. Stop waiting for a perfect day. The time is now. You are already very late, and heaven is calling you forward. Comment 333 to declare your faith in what God is about to do. This is your turning point. This is the moment you remember as the one where everything changed, not because the storm stopped, but because you found peace in the middle of it. Not because you had all the answers, but because you learned to trust the one who does. Not because your strength returned, but because you found God's strength was enough. You are not alone. You have never been alone. God was there when you thought He was silent. He was there when you wanted to give up. He was there when you didn't even know how to pray. There is more for you. More healing, more joy, more clarity, more presence. But it begins now, not next week, not when life feels easier, not when everything is fixed. It begins the moment you choose Him, the moment you believe that being late does not mean being forgotten. The moment you stop running and start resting in the love of God that has been chasing you all your life. But still, you're here. still listening, still breathing. That alone is proof that God is not finished with you. He said only a rare few would see this. Only a few would feel the urgency. Only a few would truly stay long enough to receive what He's trying to release. And you are one of them. Chosen, set apart, not by accident, but by divine design. You are already very late, not because you missed God's love, but because you've been living without fully receiving it. You've been walking through life with a heart half open, holding your breath through every season, trying to protect yourself from more pain, but in the process, you've also shut out joy, peace, and healing. God is not disappointed in you. He is longing for you. He is longing for you to stop surviving and start living again fully, freely, deeply with Him. You have fought long battles that no one saw. You've had to keep walking when your strength was gone. You've smiled through heartbreak and kept quiet through confusion. But what if you knew that not a single tear was wasted? Not a single silent cry went unheard? What if you could feel how close God has been to you all this time, through the years of waiting, the setbacks, the betrayals, and the moments you questioned your own worth? He was there. He still is. And right now, He is leaning close again, calling your name, not the name you earned through perfection, but the name He gave you in love. Comment 555 if you know this is your time to return to God's heart. You were never meant to carry it all alone. That pressure on your chest, that constant worry, that deep fear of being too much or not enough, those are not yours to hold. They were never yours. Somewhere along the way, the world convinced you that you had to earn rest, prove your value, and hide your wounds to be worthy of love. But God's love has never been based on performance. It has always been based on presence. He just wants you close. Not because He needs you to be perfect, but because He knows your soul cannot survive another season without Him. You are already very late because your heart has been trying to carry things that only God was meant to carry. Your mind has been spinning with fears you never cast onto Him. Your steps have been heavy with burdens He told you to lay down long ago, and you've told yourself, maybe later. But there is no later, not anymore. Now is the time. Now is the invitation. Now is when the chains begin to break, not because of what you can do, but because of who He is. You don't have to fix everything to come back to God. You don't need a plan. You don't need the right words. You just need to be willing. You just need to whisper, even with trembling lips, Lord, I need you. That is enough. That is always enough. When Peter was drowning, he didn't pray a perfect prayer. He simply cried out, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus reached down. Not later. Not after Peter got it all together. Immediately. This is your immediately. The moment when grace grabs your hand again. The moment when love pulls you out of what was drowning you. The moment when peace returns to the storm. God is not far away. He is not hiding from you. He is here, closer than your breath, ready to restore every broken place inside of you. You have been looking for answers. God is not offering a formula. He is offering Himself. His presence is the answer. His peace is the answer. His word is the answer. Everything else can fail, but God never does. His promises never fall short. His love never expires. His mercy is new not just once, but every single morning. And right now, mercy is reaching you, not because you asked perfectly, but because He loves completely. You are already very late because you've delayed stepping into the life He has for you. You've stayed in the familiar even when it hurt. You've chosen comfort over calling. You've chosen fear over freedom. But God is so patient. Even when we run, even when we forget, even when we wander, He keeps pursuing. He keeps waiting for the moment we turn back. And when we do, He doesn't meet us with anger. He meets us with open arms. You are not being called into shame. You are being called into healing. You are not being reminded of your mistakes. You are being reminded of your identity. You are God's. Before the pain, before the sin, before the brokenness, you were His. And you still are. It's not too late to begin again. You may be late in your journey, but you are not disqualified. You may feel worn down, but you are not abandoned. You may feel unworthy, but you are still His. That has not changed. Comment 1212 if you believe this is your moment to rise again. The Holy Spirit is tugging at your heart because He knows what's ahead of you requires a deeper surrender. You cannot walk into your next season carrying the weight of the last one. You cannot build a future with the lies of your past echoing in your ears. You must break agreement with every word the enemy has spoken over you. You must reject every thought that tells you you're not enough. You must silence every voice that says God won't come through. He will come through. He always does. Maybe not in the way you expected, maybe not in the time you wanted, but always in the way you needed. Always in the time that brings Him glory. And that glory will be your healing. God is writing a new chapter over your life. Not a small revision, not a small improvement, but a complete transformation. He is about to take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. He is about to use the things that broke you to bless others. He is about to lift you from the place of silence and set you in a place of praise. But you have to say yes. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop putting it off. You are already very late. But the story is not over. God is just getting started. Let Him begin something new in you. Let Him have all of you, not just the easy parts. Let Him into the places that still ache. Let Him heal what you stopped praying about. Let Him fill the parts of you that you forgot needed filling. He is ready. Heaven is ready. The time is now. Say yes. Come home. Stay in His presence. You will never regret surrender. You will only regret what you delayed. The longer you wait, the heavier it gets. But the moment you say yes, the chains begin to fall. It is time to take your place in what God has prepared. It is time to step out of the shadows of fear and into the light of your true identity. You are already very late, and that is why God is speaking so clearly, so urgently, so tenderly to you now. He does not want to lose you to the lies of this world, to the pain of your past, or to the delay that has kept you stuck for too long. God is not interested in perfection, He is interested in presence. Your presence with Him, your willingness to say, I'm here now. I may be broken, I may be unsure, I may be struggling, but I am here. That is all He needs. That is where transformation begins. Not in your strength, but in your surrender. Not in your achievements, but in your availability. The reason you've been feeling this tug in your heart lately, the reason your soul has been restless, is because the Spirit of God has been gently but powerfully calling you back. He knows what you've been through. He knows how tired you are of pretending you're okay. He knows how often you lie awake at night thinking about the weight of your life. And He is not ignoring it. He is here to carry it with you. He is here to walk with you through the places that still feel dark. He is here to remind you that you don't have to do this alone anymore. Comment 777 if you're ready to walk with Him fully. You were not made to live numb. You were not created for a life of endless survival and silent suffering. You were made to thrive, to worship, to live in the overflow of God's presence. But the enemy has tried to convince you that this is just the way it is, that you'll always feel this low-level sadness, that joy is for other people, that peace is for the lucky ones, that breakthrough is for the ones who seem to have it all together. But that is a lie. You were meant to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You were made for more. And God is still offering you that more. You have waited long enough. You have been standing at the edge of what God wants to do, too afraid to step in. You have held back your yes because you thought it had to be clean, put together, and strong. But your broken yes is enough. Your quiet, trembling, doubting yes is enough. Because God does not need your perfection, He just needs your permission. And once you give Him your yes, heaven begins to move. Everything around you may look the same at first. The same job, the same house, the same situation. But something inside you shifts when you say yes. Something opens, something changes, and that change begins to touch everything else. You start to see things differently. You begin to respond to pain with peace. You begin to handle pressure with grace. You start hearing God's voice louder than the noise of the world. That's what happens when you stop delaying and start surrendering. You are already very late, but the miracle is that God still waited. He still held the door open for you. Even when you ignored Him, even when you made choices that pulled you away, even when you lost yourself trying to be what others wanted, He never gave up on you. He never stopped calling you by your real name, the one He wrote before you were born. He is calling you now, not just to feel inspired, but to be changed. Not just to cry for a moment, but to wake up and live. Not just to believe He exists, but to live like He is everything. Because He is. He is your breath, your refuge, your strength, your hope. And He is not a distant God. He is right here, in this very moment, knocking gently at the door of your heart, asking you to let Him in not as a visitor, but as your home. If you have been feeling far from God, know this: distance is not real when it comes to His love. The only thing that separates us is our silence. The moment you speak His name, He draws near. The moment you cry out, He comes running. The moment you open your heart, even just a little, He fills it with peace that passes understanding. He is that faithful. He is that close. Comment 999 if you believe He is near to you right now. Some of you have been walking with God, but you know you've been distant in your heart. You've been going through the motions, saying the right words, doing the right things. But the fire is gone, and you've been afraid to admit it because you thought it made you weak. But the truth is, God already sees your weariness. And He is not angry. He is inviting you to come closer. He wants to reignite the flame inside of you. He wants to awaken your joy again. He wants to restore the wonder in your spirit. He wants to make you alive again. This message is not just for the one who is lost. It's also for the one who is tired. The one who stayed faithful but grew weary. The one who kept showing up but forgot how to feel. You are not invisible. Your faithfulness has not gone unnoticed. And even now, God is refreshing you, breathing life into your dry bones, pouring new oil over your head, reminding you that your best days are not behind you, they are ahead. You just need to take His hand again, not out of duty, but out of desire. And if you are someone who has felt overlooked, unwanted, or unseen, hear this clearly. God sees you. He sees every part of you, not just the part you show the world, but the quiet parts, the hidden parts, the parts you don't talk about. And still, He chooses you. Still, He calls you. Still, He says, "You are mine." You are already very late, but the timing of God is never bound to a clock. His timing is about alignment, not speed. And right now, your heart is aligning with His. Right now, you are stepping into the flow of grace. Right now, something in the Spirit is shifting because you stayed, you listened, You received. This is your moment. Don't look back. Don't second guess. Don't try to figure everything out. Just keep saying yes, one step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time. That's how revival begins, not with loud declarations, but with quiet obedience. He sees the quiet battles you're fighting, the unseen pain, the silent prayers, and he is speaking directly into the depths of all that right now. He said only a rare few would see this, and you are one of them. You are already very late, but still chosen, still wanted, still pursued by a God who never gives up on his children. There is a tenderness in his voice right now, not one of frustration but of fierce compassion. It is the voice of a father who watches his child wander too far and instead of turning away, runs to meet them with arms open wide. That is how he feels about you. Not with shame, but with mercy. Not with condemnation, but with redemption. Every part of your story, even the broken chapters, can still be rewritten by his hand. There is nothing too far gone. Not you, not your dreams, not your healing, not your peace. Comment 1010 if you know in your heart he is still rewriting your story. The enemy has tried to convince you that it's too late for you, that you've missed your moment, that you've messed up too much. But God is the author of time, and when he says, "You're late," he's not ending your story. He's waking you up to begin it. There is still breath in your lungs, and that means heaven is still writing. That means there is still more for your life, more for your purpose, more for your spirit to experience. You haven't seen the best of God yet. You haven't walked in the fullness of what he's planned for you yet. You haven't even scratched the surface of his goodness. But you must surrender to it, fully, deeply, immediately. You cannot wait for a quieter day or a calmer season. The time is now. You cannot serve God with one hand and hold on to fear with the other. You cannot worship with half your heart and expect the fire to fall. He wants all of you. He's always wanted all of you. Not because he needs it to be whole, but because you need him to be whole. You are already very late because you've allowed too many voices to drown out the voice of the one who created you. You've believed the world more than the word. You've given your heart to things that left you emptier than before. But God is not angry. He's not pushing you away. He is calling you gently, like a shepherd who sees one lamb wandering and leaves everything to bring it back. This moment is about return. It's about realignment. It's about restoration. You are being pulled out of survival and into true living again. The light of God is breaking through the fog. The weight on your chest is lifting. That heaviness that felt permanent is not yours to carry anymore. Let it fall. Let the past fall. Let the guilt fall. Let the fear fall. You are stepping into something holy, and you don't need to bring your baggage with you. Just bring your heart. That's all he wants. There is something sacred about this invitation. And yes, it is an invitation. You're not being forced. You're being pursued. God is offering something deeper than a moment of inspiration. He is offering intimacy, relationship, wholeness, identity. And you'll only find it in him. Not in the approval of people, not in the chasing of success, not in the numbing of your pain, only in him. He is enough. Comment 1515 if you are ready to leave the weight behind and walk in freedom. You have always been loved, even when you didn't love yourself, even when others failed to love you well, even when life made you feel unlovable. You have always been seen. Not for your performance or your perfection, but for your heart. And even when your heart felt shattered, he still saw value in every piece. That's the God we serve. The God who gathers the broken and calls them beautiful. The God who walks into your mess, not to shame you, but to sit with you in it, and then lead you out of it, hand in hand. You're not too far. You're not too late. You are right on time for the miracle He wants to begin in you. And make no mistake, He is working a miracle in you, even if you can't see it yet, even if everything around you still looks the same. Miracles don't always look like sudden flashes of light. Sometimes they look like quiet strength returning to your bones. Sometimes they look like the ability to forgive someone who hurt you. Sometimes they look like waking up with hope for the first time in years. Don't overlook what He is doing just because it looks different than what you expected. God doesn't work on our timelines. He works through hearts that are willing, and your willingness right now, in this moment, is opening doors you don't even see yet. He is aligning people, opportunities, healing, restoration, and provision around your obedience. Every time you say yes, even in weakness, you're sowing into a harvest that heaven will make sure comes to pass. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a 5-step plan. All you need is to stay close to the one who holds all things together. He will guide you. He will protect you. He will provide. He will heal. He will restore. You are not doing this in your own strength anymore. That season is over. Now, it's His strength carrying you, His Spirit leading you, His love sustaining you. Comment 1717. If you are walking into this next season hand in hand with God, let go of every lie that told you you weren't enough. Let go of the comparison. Let go of the shame. Let go of the thought that said God works for everyone else, but not for you. You are not the exception to His love. You are not the one person too broken for His grace. You are exactly who He came for. You are exactly the kind of heart He loves to dwell in. Open it wide, let Him in. Not just into the safe parts, but into the broken corners, the hidden fears, the painful memories. God wants to take those places and fill them with light. Not fake light, not temporary comfort, but real, healing, holy light that changes everything. He wants you to live again, laugh again, trust again, breathe again. He wants to renew every part of you, and He can, and He will, because He is God, and He is faithful. You are already very late, but God is right on time. And this time, you're not going back. You're not falling again into what almost broke you. You're not repeating the cycles that kept you bound. You're stepping forward, boldly, quietly, steadily. You are stepping into a new day, and heaven is walking with you. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit listening. This is only the beginning. God is just getting started, and what He has planned for you is far greater than what you've lost. Stay in it. Stay with Him. Let every moment ahead be a step toward Him. That stillness is not your imagination. That is God wrapping His presence around you like a blanket, whispering, "I'm not done with you yet." You may feel late, but God is always on time. And when He speaks, everything shifts. You are already very late, because heaven has been calling your name through seasons of silence, and through moments you did not even know were sacred. God has been knocking for longer than you realize. He was there when your voice trembled in prayer. He was there when you looked at your life and felt nothing but disappointment. He was there when people misunderstood you, when plans fell apart, and when hope seemed to vanish. And He stayed. He stayed because He knew this moment would come. The moment your heart would soften just enough to hear Him again. Comment Amen if your heart is softening now. So many times you've felt behind. Behind in life, behind in healing, behind in your faith. But what if the reason you feel so late is because God is shifting you out of human timelines and into divine purpose. This world has rushed you, pressured you, made you feel like everything has to happen fast or not at all. But God does not move at the speed of culture. He moves at the pace of eternity, and eternity is not in a hurry. You may have missed some turns. You may have taken the long way, but the road back to Him has never been closed. There is no detour that grace cannot cover. There is no delay that can cancel your destiny. Even now, God is redeeming time. Even now, He is pulling you forward. Even now, He is restoring what the enemy tried to steal. You are already very late because the version of yourself that God called long ago has been buried beneath layers of fear, trauma, insecurity, and lies. But now He is uncovering it. He is removing every weight that was not yours to carry. He is silencing every voice that was not His. He is calling your name, not the name the world gave you, not the identity shaped by pain, but the name He wrote over you from the beginning. You are His. And that changes everything. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are not disqualified. You are not too broken. You are not behind. You are simply right on the edge of divine alignment. And once you take that step, once you say yes again with your whole heart, everything begins to move. Comment 1, 1, 1, 1 if you feel God aligning you right now. It's time to let go of the guilt, of the shame, of the pressure to prove your worth. You are already worthy, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. God's love does not have conditions. His mercy does not have expiration dates. His presence is not reserved for the perfect. It is available for the willing, and your willingness is enough. Let Him in. Let Him speak to the places that have been quiet for too long. Let Him touch the wounds you've tried to numb. Let Him rebuild the ruins inside of you. That's what He does best. He takes the ashes and makes beauty. He takes the mess and creates something holy. He takes the shattered places and makes them whole again. You've waited for someone to understand you, someone to notice the pain behind your smile, someone to see past your silence. God has always seen. Every tear, every fear, every piece of your story. And still, He chooses you. Still, He calls you. He is not interested in who the world told you to be. He wants the real you, the raw you, the tired, confused, hurting, open-hearted you. He wants all of it, not because He needs it, but because He loves you enough to carry it for you. You were never meant to carry your burdens alone. This is not just about restoration. This is about resurrection. There are places in you that have felt dead for years, dreams you buried, hopes you stopped speaking about, pieces of yourself you lost along the way. God is not just restoring you back to what was, He is resurrecting you into something brand new. Comment 222 if you believe He is bringing life to dead places in your soul. The path ahead may still feel unclear. You may wonder how anything will change, but you don't have to figure it all out today. You just have to follow. One step at a time, one prayer at a time, one moment of trust at a time. God will meet you there, and with every step, He will make your path straight. You are already very late, not because God was waiting for you to earn your place, but because He was waiting for you to receive what has always been yours. His love, His favor, His protection, His voice, His spirit, His rest. Rest is what He's offering now. Not the kind that comes from escape, but the kind that settles deep in your bones. The kind that says, I don't have to carry this anymore. The kind that lifts the pressure, breaks the fear, and breathes peace into every corner of your being. That rest is holy. That rest is healing. That rest is yours. You are stepping into a new rhythm. A rhythm not of striving, but of surrender. Not of rushing, but of resting. Not of performing, but of abiding. That is where the power is. In abiding. In staying close to Him, even when life is loud. In listening for His voice, even when fear tries to scream louder. In trusting that even when you feel late, God is still working all things together for your good. You are not here by accident. You didn't come this far to turn away now. You didn't survive everything just to keep barely breathing. God is breathing life into you again. He is awakening something eternal, something powerful, something holy. You are being called into a deeper place, a place where peace is not dependent on circumstances, a place where joy flows from the Spirit, not from outcomes, a place where you know who you are, not because of what others say, but because of what God has spoken. You are His, and that is enough. Let this be the moment you stop running. Let this be the moment you stop waiting for permission. Let this be the moment you stop hiding behind excuses. You are already very late, but you are not too late. Say yes. Let God take your hand and lead you into everything He's prepared for you. That is why you feel this pull, this stirring, this ache for something more than just getting through another day. This is the moment God has been waiting for. The moment you finally stop trying to fix it all on your own and just let Him be everything He promised He would be. You are already very late because you've spent too long trying to carry what you were meant to surrender. You've spent years trying to be strong when you should have just been still. You've worn yourself out trying to make sense of things that only heaven understands. But now, in this very moment, God is speaking peace over you. Not the kind of peace that the world offers with conditions and deadlines, but the kind that calms storms, heals wounds, and makes broken hearts whole again. Comment 333. If you are ready to surrender everything to Him, there's something sacred about this place you're in. You may not see it, because all you feel is the weight of what you're walking through. But the very fact that you're still standing is proof that God has been holding you. When you thought you were falling apart, He was putting things back together in a way you couldn't see. When you were quiet and felt empty, heaven was speaking life over your name. When you felt late, God was preparing something that only surrender could unlock. The journey you've walked has not been wasted. Not one step, not one tear, not one season of silence. It's all been part of a greater unfolding. And though you can't always trace His hand, you can trust His heart. Because He is faithful, not just in the easy moments, but in the waiting, in the confusion, and in the breaking. He has always been faithful. You may feel behind in life. You may look at others and wonder why their path seems smoother, clearer, faster. But you don't know what God is doing deep within you. You don't see how He's been building something sacred. A faith that doesn't rely on feelings, a strength that grows in silence, a peace that surpasses understanding. That kind of growth takes time. That kind of transformation takes fire. And you've walked through the fire. But not alone, never alone. You are already very late, not because you failed, but because you settled. You settled for less than what God promised. You lowered your expectations to protect yourself from disappointment. You stopped dreaming because it hurt too much to believe again. But God is calling you out of that place now. He is stirring your heart to rise again, not because your circumstances changed, but because His Spirit is waking you up. This is not just about recovery, this is about revival. Not the kind that happens in a crowd, but the kind that starts quietly deep inside you, in the places that no one else sees, in the moments when no one is watching. That is where God is working right now. Not in the noise, but in the stillness. Not in the spotlight, but in the secret place. Comment, Amen, if you feel Him moving in the quiet places of your heart. You may feel like you've missed your chance, that too much time has passed, that you've made too many mistakes. But God does not work within the lines of your mistakes. He works within the power of His mercy. And mercy rewrites stories. Mercy restores what was lost. Mercy brings beauty out of ashes. You haven't missed it. What's for you is still for you, but you have to stop looking back. You have to stop measuring what's ahead by what's already behind you. The enemy wants you to believe it's too late because he knows what happens when you finally step into your calling. He knows the kind of light that shines through your life when you fully surrender to God. He knows the damage you'll do to the darkness if you ever truly believe you're chosen. That's why he's fought you so hard. That's why you've been tired. That's why you felt alone. Because your life carries the weight of heaven's call, and hell has been terrified of you waking up to it. But you're awake now. You're listening. You're opening your heart. And heaven is rejoicing. You don't need to know every step ahead. You don't need to understand how it will all unfold. You just need to take the next step with God. That's how the healing begins. That's how the joy returns. That's how the peace flows again. One step, one yes, one surrendered moment at a time. And as you do, God will begin to show you things you didn't even know were possible. He will heal places that felt permanently broken. He will bring clarity where there's been confusion. He will fill you with a strength that carries you through the days you never thought you'd survive. He will be your portion, your shield, your covering, your anchor. Comment 555 if you are ready for your next step with Him. There's something so powerful about staying when everything in you wants to run. There's something holy about remaining in His presence when your emotions are pushing you toward distraction. You are choosing to stay, and that decision will bear fruit. That decision is planting seeds you will one day harvest in joy. This is the soil of surrender, and it is rich with promise. You are not forgotten. You are not late in a way that disqualifies you. You are late in a way that simply means now is the time. Now is the moment, and you must not look away, not because of fear, but because of love, a love that is deeper than your questions, stronger than your struggles, fiercer than your shame. You may not feel ready, you may feel too weak, but God has always used the ones who feel least qualified. He delights in using what the world sees as small. He is drawn to the humble, the broken, the willing, and that's you. That's your story. And your story is not over. You may feel like you're standing at the end, but God is writing a beginning. You may feel like you've wasted too much time, but God is restoring what was lost. You may feel like you've gone too far, but His mercy runs further. You are already very late, but grace has been waiting for you all along. This is God, speaking to the very center of your soul. He's not speaking to impress you. He's not reaching for applause. He's reaching for your heart, because it's time. You've waited long enough. You've wrestled long enough. You've cried long enough in the dark, wondering when things would shift. And God is saying, you are already very late, but you're right on time for the miracle. You've been asking for change, but real change begins when your heart surrenders completely. God doesn't just want your Sunday moments. He wants your everyday battles, your silent tears, your buried questions. He wants the version of you that you hide from others. That's the one He loves most. The unfiltered, unedited, fragile version of you. That's where His power works best. In your weakness, His strength shows up in full. You've been trying to be strong for everyone, and all the while, your heart has grown heavy, from carrying more than it was made to hold. You've carried the past, the pressure, the pain, and still smiled like you were okay. But deep down, your spirit has been weary. God sees that, and He's not asking for a stronger version of you. He's asking for the real you, the tired you, the unsure you, the quiet you that nobody really checks on. That's who He came for. That's who He's calling back into His arms. Comment 1212. If you know this is the moment you let Him carry what's been crushing you, you are already very late because you've tried to walk through fire without Him. You've tried to build a life without fully including Him in the foundation, and the cracks started to show. The weight started to grow, and now you feel stuck. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. And humans need their Creator. You can't run on empty and expect peace to grow. You can't fill others while leaking at the seams. You need God not just in part of your life, but in all of it. He wants to be your first thought in the morning, not your last resort at night. He wants to be your peace in the storm, not just the shelter you run to when it all falls apart. He wants to be your constant, not just your crisis. And the moment you stop waiting for the perfect timing and say yes now, that's the moment everything begins to shift. There are things you've been holding on to that are slowly draining the life out of you. The wrong relationships, the old habits, the fear of not being enough, the pressure to keep up, the guilt over things you can't change. And God is not saying all of this to shame you. He's saying it to free you. He's saying, let it go now. You are already very late. Let it go before it costs you more than it already has. Let go, not because it's easy, but because it's time. Comment 777 if you're ready to release what's been weighing you down. There is no freedom without surrender. There is no healing without honesty. There is no peace without presence. His presence, and His presence is here now, wrapping around you, not judging you, but inviting you, not calling you out, but calling you in. This is your invitation into wholeness. This is your moment to remember who you are, not what life told you, not what others labeled you, but who God says you are. You are chosen, you are loved, you are still called. Even after all the silence, the wandering, the hesitation, God still calls you by name. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are simply at the doorstep of the next chapter. And that chapter begins with one word: yes. Yes to God's timing. Yes to His healing. Yes to trusting again. Yes to letting go. Yes to walking by faith even when you don't know the full path. You've been waiting for a sign, and this is it. You've been waiting for confirmation, and this is it. God is speaking to you so clearly now. Not to overwhelm you, but to lead you out of delay and into destiny. You can't go back to who you were. That version of you was only meant to carry you this far. Now, it's time to become the person God always knew you were: whole, free, bold in faith, grounded in love, unshaken by fear. That transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens daily, in every small surrender, in every quiet prayer, in every moment you choose God over the noise. Comment Amen if you are choosing God over the noise today. You don't need to impress God. You just need to invite Him. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust Him. The pressure to figure it all out is not from Him. He never called you to be perfect. He called you to be present, present with Him, present in the moment, present in the quiet, knowing that He is still working even when you don't see the fruit yet. Seeds grow in silence. Faith grows in silence. And your miracle is being prepared even now as your heart says yes again. You are already very late, because this moment should have come sooner. But the beauty of grace is that even when we arrive with a limp, heaven still welcomes us like we never left. The story doesn't stop because of delay, it just gets deeper. And when God writes your next chapter, it will be filled with redemption so beautiful, the pain that once crushed you will become the place His glory shines through. Don't give up now. Don't walk away when you're this close to breakthrough. Don't let doubt have the final word. You are on the edge of something holy. Stay with it. Stay close to Him. Let Him finish what He started. He is not done with you. He never was. Everything that's been heavy, everything that's felt like a burden too big to name, lay it down now. Don't carry it another day. Don't delay another moment. God is ready. The question is, are you willing? You've carried the weight of feeling like you should have done more, should have said yes earlier, should have trusted sooner. But none of that disqualifies you from what God still wants to do in your life. Grace doesn't work like the world does. Grace still welcomes you even when you're late. Grace doesn't roll its eyes or shake its head in disappointment. It opens its arms wide and whispers, "Come in. You're still on time for mercy." Comment 1717 if you believe grace is still waiting for you. You're not the same person you were when this all began. Life has shaped you, hurt you, humbled you, and stretched you. But through it all, something inside of you has survived. And not just survived, grown. There is a maturity inside of you now that wasn't there before. There is a hunger for God now that couldn't have come any other way. The delay did not destroy you, it deepened you. And now, as God calls you forward, He's not calling the same version of you that first heard His voice. He's calling the refined version, the one who knows the cost, the one who's learned to depend on Him, the one who has seen darkness but chooses light anyway. He's calling the version of you that's finally ready to let go, to release the anger, to release the bitterness, to release the disappointment and the idea that things had to go a certain way for them to be holy. Sometimes, God's greatest works don't look like miracles at first. They look like surrender. And you are standing on that edge right now. You've said not yet so many times. You've said maybe later, hoping things would just feel easier or more certain. But there's no more time for that now. The spiritual battle around you has been intensifying, not because God abandoned you, but because heaven is preparing to release something over your life that hell has tried to delay. But it can't delay what God is about to do unless you stay silent, unless you stay still, unless you say no. But you won't say no. You can't, because your heart is pounding even as you read this, because your spirit knows it's time. This is the shift. This is the open door. This is God saying, even now, I choose you. Comment 999 if you feel that undeniable tug from God right now. You are already very late because the gifts inside of you have been waiting too long to breathe. You've buried them under fear. You've questioned whether you're good enough, anointed enough, prepared enough. But you're not the one who qualifies yourself. God does. And if He called you, then He has already equipped you. You just have to believe it and walk in it. And stop waiting for someone else to affirm what heaven has already declared over your life. There are people who are connected to your obedience. There are lives that will be touched when you finally say yes. This is bigger than you. It's not just about your healing. It's about what flows through you when you let God truly take over. It's about what happens when you stop silencing the truth in you just because you're afraid of what it might cost. You know what's more costly? Staying stuck, staying silent, staying outside the will of God, knowing deep down that you were created for more. You don't have to fear obedience. You have to fear disobedience. Because disobedience may feel comfortable now, but it will lead to a life you were never meant to live. And still, God waits. patiently, lovingly. He's not forcing you. He's inviting you to trust again, to believe again, to move again, to step out of delay and into divine purpose. Comment, Amen, if you're saying yes in your heart today. You may not feel strong, but strength isn't what he's asking for. He's asking for surrender. He's asking for honesty. He's asking for your whole heart, not your perfect one. If all you have is a whisper of faith, it's enough. If all you have is a shaky yes, he'll take it. If all you have is a broken hallelujah, heaven hears it louder than the loudest praise. There is something holy about this kind of yes, the kind that comes from deep places, the kind that rises up after years of silence, the kind that costs something. This is the kind of yes that makes hell tremble. This is the kind of yes that sets captives free.